No, just really excited about the season. It seems like it's been an eternity. You know, we started out in January with our winter training. It was all in preparation for next Monday, you know, first official practice. But the time's close. I feel good about the team. You know, the guys are all started to trickle in. Everybody seems ready. Good summer, healthy. Couldn't ask for much more. We're just, like I said, itching to get going. Preseason training starts next Monday, and we get right after. Get right at it. We play Grand Canyon on the 17th in a home exhibition match, and then open up the season here Friday, August 30th against Villanova. So it's going to come at us really quick. Anybody got any questions?
Talk about the summer. How what you guys did. What was the emphasis? What did you want them to do to prepare for this fall?
I mean, we had a real tough winter spring. You know, we trained very hard, had a successful spring season. You know, a big part of the summer was just kind of recovering, refreshing, being excited, and developing as a team. We had a lot of guys back who worked camp or took summer school. So I think in terms of a sense of team cohesion, you know, I anticipate it being very good. We got great leadership, you know, strong returning group. So I think that the summer was a very focused one. We had some goals in mind, and you know, I've got every reason to believe that the guys will be ready to go come next week.
Jeremy, any aspects of the team or positions or scoring depth, anything that you're concerned about?
I mean, I don't have any concerns. You know, I have excitement. Of course, there's always unknown. It's a new team. It's new leadership. But we have a lot of veteran players that know what it's going to take to be successful. Great leaders. They care about their teammates. And you know, once again, it's just a real cohesive group where I think everybody comes into the season with the goal of making other people better and being a great team member and being a great leader. And I think if we can continue with that mentality, that will be really successful.
How do you replace Devin Sandoval, Blake Smith, and Victor Rodriguez?
I mean, replace is a funny term. I mean, you're never going to replace them man for man with the same qualities. I think we'll bring in exciting players who have other attributes, and it's just a matter of how we adapt as a team. I think we'll have a lot of pieces. You know, it's still unclear how everybody's going to fit in, what role they're going to play, but we got a lot of firepower. We're not going to bring in another big, you know, center forward and a left-sided guy who is as dynamic and athletic as Blake, but we have a lot of guys who can do different things, and that's just going to be our challenge as a coaching staff and our players to find how we can be most successful, what combinations of players.
What are some of the key position battles?
Man, there's a lot of battles. It's the guys keep saying, yeah, I'd hate to be in your shoes because of the competition. It's healthy, but that's going to be our challenge, you know, as a staff and as a team, how to stay positive, how to embrace the internal competition, and to have a lot of respect for your teammates. And that's always a challenge when you have a team with depth. But I think it'll be game to game. I think when guys find their form and, you know, they're scoring goals, those guys are going to stay on the field, and it'll be competitive at practice. And you know, as a coach, you kind of always look for best case, worst case. Where's your balance? Who can fill roles? You know, and I think we have that in this team. We can fill every position, you know, with somebody coming off the bench, and that's pretty reassuring that we're not reliant on just one player. And this is a team with a lot of depth, and I think starting from back to front, you know, we have very capable goalkeepers, a balanced defense, guys with different attributes, you know, in terms of the flank, you know, more attacking-minded, you know, defenders, more kind of lockdown, stay-at-home defenders. We'll be able to adapt to different teams, different styles of play.
Goalkeepers, talk about them.
Man, that's going to be a battle. You know, returning Patrick Pabletti had some big games last year, some great wins. And Michael Lish transferred in January. So I think those two are going to really battle for the position initially. And then, there's two other guys, Kevin Armstrong and Jimmy Schneebeck, a local kid that you can't write them off either. So it'll be healthy, but I think they all have a lot of respect for each other, and that's the main thing in competition, that there's mutual respect.
The team suffered a tough loss last season at Connecticut at the end of the season. How do you rebound from that?
I mean, rebound's a funny term. I mean, it's a new season. You really can't focus on the past. I mean, what you hope as individuals, as coaches, as a team, as you learn from each game, and some of your greatest, learning opportunities are losses. And we're not going to dwell on it. It's going to make us better. And we'll have new players that'll have to find ways when we're in those situations, to be successful, and I think we will.
What are some of your early goals heading into the camp?
It's kind of it's identifying who can play where. We have an idea. It's not like, well, this guy's going to play center forward or center back, but we have quite a few attacking players that'll be our challenge, where they all fit and how do we get our best players on the field, because we have a lot of experience in the center midfield, some very good center backs. I think we brought in some new guys this summer that will be able to challenge for time. So it really doesn't do us much good to predict things or make assumptions. We'll get to see guys play and move guys around quite a bit in the early goings, and that's our job as coaches, to determine what's going to be the best lineup.
What about the schedule? What are your thoughts on it?
It's awesome.
Sorry for the knock on it.
Big time. I mean, that's who you want to play. I mean, I don't think you could ask for more. We open up Villanova at home, top-notch, Big East team, and then we'll see pretty quickly where we are. We fly out to Richmond, Virginia to play Virginia Commonwealth, who was a top 16 seed, and then we play Georgetown, who is the national runner-up. So 3 big ones right off the bat. Then we come home, I think Santa Clara, traditional power, Northridge, another top 16 seed, some big games. So it's exciting, and that's who our guys want to play. You want to play against the best. You want to play against the best on a weekly basis, and that's how you become battle-tested, how you prepare for the postseason, and that's just where you get to see who you are as a team. And then that's definitely a highlight of the season, getting to play such a great both non-conference, and then once we get into Conference USA, every game's a big one. You can't relax. So it's exciting, it's daunting, it's challenging, but at the same time, we're looking forward to Monday. You got to take one game at a time, that approach. It's a cliche, but you have to have that mindset, and you got to get better every day and get better every game.
Can you just talk about Kyle Venture a little bit and what he means to the team?
I mean, Venner's 5th-year senior. He's one of our captains. He's logged a lot of minutes the last 3 years. I mean, he's been tremendous. But for Kyle's sake and for our team's sake, it's 26 guys. And he's a piece of the puzzle. He's going to be a big leader for us. There's big expectations, but that's the job of his teammates, is that it's a team game, and to keep him grounded, to not allow Kyle to feel a lot of pressure, to feel confident and to go out there and do his thing. And he's done it for the last 3 years. He started pretty much every game, and I think he's going to have a great season and just a real big impact on our team and on our performance and the outcomes.
Any questions for Coach? I had heard last year that the Conference USA is not going to allow the guys to play the drums at the games. Is that right?
No, Conference USA doesn't have any rules on noisemakers from what I read. That was what I read, so we'll see. Whether it's drums or noisemakers, we want to encourage our fans to be active participants in every game. You know, however they want to make noise, we want them to, and we want them there, and they're a big part of our success is, you know, our supporters and the energy they bring.
This program too isn't a program that's kind of been flying under the radar. What does that kind of do for you guys? You know, you kind of get people's best on a weekly basis.
Yeah, you know, it's a transition. You know, it's a transition as a program to, you know, a long time ago, I think we were the underdog, and we've kind of been wearing that target for quite a while, and it's something you just got to embrace. You know, you embrace it as a player, as a coach, and you say, we're going to make it pretty hard for somebody to beat us. And you know what? If somebody beats us, hats off, you know, congratulations, and you look them in the eye and shake your hand. But there's not going to be many teams that beat us, and every time we step on the field, we expect to win. And that's a good feeling to have players with that kind of confidence that that's the expectation every game.
What's the strength of your team this year, Coach?
I think the strength is balance. It's maturity. It's hunger. It's just relentlessness. The guys are hungry and they play for each other, and they're passionate, and they're really good. I mean, I can't wait to see them get out there, and they take a lot of pride in representing the university and the city of Albuquerque and the state of New Mexico. You know, we play that with you know, it's across our chests every game. You know who we're representing, and it's really a proud group. So I think that's our strength. I don't think it does us good to focus on individuals, because we've always had good individual players here. But our strength is in our team and our leadership, and those are things this year that are as strong or stronger than we've ever had.
What about your first time through Conference USA? Is that gonna be odd not being in the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation, or?
That's a good thing. You know, we're ready to play some different teams, see some different venues, and I know our fans are going to be excited to get some of these big teams in here to Albuquerque and show them what we're about.
Are you pretty excited to be able to mark the 30th anniversary of the program?
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many people that have had such an influence on the program, and for them to be recognized and to try to get their involvement, you know, increase it and let them know how important they are. That, you know, that's one of our goals. But you know, the program has been here a while, and the foundation was set long ago, and there's some great players, great coaches, everything that the administration, the university support. You know, I've come on the back end of it, and I'm just really thankful for you know, the opportunity, and keep getting better every day. You know, that's our goal.
How do you feel about how the program's developed, at least since your time here?
Yeah, it's great. You know, we've continued to move forward. I think we've been to the NCAA tournament 10 of the last 12 years. You know, had a lot of success, 4 Final Fours, but you always want more. And I think at the end of the day, when you evaluate yourself as a coach, you look at the kind of men you've developed. And if there's one thing I'm most proud of is our guys and their commitment to the community and their academic success, and they're just good people. And those are the relationships that you feel most proud of. And you know, these guys have done it. You know, last year the team GPA was 3.4. I mean, A's and B's. I mean, as good as they are on the field, I think they're even better in the community, and they're better men and great leaders. I mean, I can't say enough, and we're always going to be successful as long as we're achieving those things.
Is there a particular moment, one or two on the pitch that really comes to mind?
Last year or just
Yeah,
overall?
Overall.
And there's been a lot of good ones, you know, and we've had some big wins. You know, we've beaten a lot of #1 ranked teams, and yeah, it'd be hard just to say one, you know. There's just been great moments, but, you know, equally great moments when we're on the road and the alums come to the game, or, you know, some guy calls you about, you know, that he's getting engaged or he's had a kid. I mean, those are equally or maybe more valuable. So it's no, it's just a real privilege to coach here and to be a part of these guys' lives, and I'm real excited for them and for, you know, all of us just to to get out there and compete against somebody else because they train pretty hard against each other, and they're probably tired of kicking each other around a little bit.
What were you doing 30 years ago?
30 years ago, I wasn't even born 30 years ago. No, man, I was playing. I was where these guys are, you know. I was in college and trying to balance things and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. So it's a pretty exciting time for them, and it's great to be a part of it.
Could you talk about, as you look at Conference USA, you know, it seemed like you guys in Denver, you guys would always be fighting for the winner of that conference. Is there anybody in particular that stands out like might be competitive with you all?
Man, I think it's wide open. There's some great teams. You know, if you base it on last year, you would say Tulsa and Charlotte, I think, did the best. But, you know, Old Dominion's been good. Kentucky's on the rise. South Carolina's probably traditionally had the most success. It's a lot of big-time teams. There won't be an easy game out there. So I don't see that, you know, coming about, that it's not going to be a two-horse race, that's for sure.
Anything else for Coach?
Since I got here late, the most challenging part of the schedule, as far as your schedule goes?
First game. That's where the focus is. You know, it's a cliche, but that's where our focus is. First game. You know, exhibition, we got 3 exhibitions, and the purpose of those exhibitions is to prepare for the season opener against Villanova. And that's, you know, that's where our focus is right now.